From the pitch to the sideline, the calls that shape the game. Welcome to Excellence in Action, the referee show here on IslandStats.com, where we dabble in the world of officiating, dissect the decisions, and celebrate the men and women in the middle. Join us each week as we chat with top officials, analyze controversial moments, and explore the challenges and triumphs of being a referee. Get inside perspective on the rules, the pressure, and the split-second judgments that can make or break a match. It's more than just whistles and flags, it's excellence in action. Now let's get to the show. Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Excellence in Action. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me are Rise Pedro and Caleb Wales, two gentlemen I'm really interested in having this conversation with. We are still awaiting Nation to join us. First of all, to Rise, congratulations on becoming the youngest referee assistant in the FA Challenge Cup final here in Bermuda. And to Caleb, congratulations on being selected to go to the FIFA World Cup in June. So, gentlemen, actually, let me start with you, Rise. Take us through the emotional ride of when you would have gotten informed that you were going to be part of the officiating team for the FA Cup final. You just got to unmute your mic.
Yeah, when I first got the notification from Mr. Williams, I had no clue what to do. I was just overwhelmed with nervousness because I'd never done a game of this caliber. I'd done a few semifinals in the Dudley Eve earlier in the season, but I'd never done a men's final. And I was just extremely nervous at first, but by the time I arrived at the stadium for the game, I was extremely excited.
Yeah. Well, Caleb, is this your first World Cup?
No, this will be my second World Cup. I was at the World Cup in 2022 Qatar.
Okay. Getting the notification that you're going to be part of the biggest football event in the world, was it the same reaction as you would have had in 2022?
It was similar. It felt surreal because not only it feels even greater because it's not the first time, it's the second time, and that is a big accomplishment, I believe, for any of my countrymen as well as Caribbean officials. I believe it's a big deal, not just for myself, but for the whole region.
Yeah. So you've been consistent or even improving over say an 8-year period, because that cycle of first getting selected is 4-year period, and then come another 4 years to get that opportunity again. What are some of the things that you have been doing to ensure that the eyes stay on you and the fact that you get this opportunity?
Well, as I say, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. I maintain consistency. I try to, improve on any kind of weaknesses that I may have showed. And I think what goes for me this time around, this cycle, because the cycle started 3 years ago, was now I'm more experienced. I take the experiences I had from the last World Cup, the years leading up to it, as well as what I will have gained in the last 3 years.
Yeah, you heard me talking to Rise at the beginning. He last weekend became the youngest person to officiate in our biggest local game, the FA Challenge Cup final. You've been in Bermuda several times and kind of probably not I don't know if you officiated with him, but you've actually had a chance to work with him in the referees coaching things on Sunday mornings. But what would you say to a young man such as Rise? I mean, with so much potential.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and congrats to him. It's a big occasion for you, not just because it's a FA final, it's also being the youngest referee. I know it will be his first time. I know the nerves will be there, but you know, it's there's more yet to come, you know. This is just the first of so much more. So hopefully you have a lot more FA finals to come and maybe even bigger things.
Yeah, Raj, you sit on a call with someone who's going to their second World Cup, and that is the mecca of football, as we would all know. The players want to get there, and officials want to get there. What looking at some of the things that Caleb said earlier about making sure that he improved on the small things. What's been your key to being recognized to actually get that opportunity?
I think the main way I just got here was showing up to trainings very consistently and putting in training hours outside of the designated trainings with everybody else.
Mm, You actually stopped playing football to really concentrate on officiating, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like for you? Because obviously everybody loves to play, but not everybody is going to play. So what was that decision like for you to say, you know what? I'm getting more joy out of blowing the whistle or running the line than I am kicking the ball.
Well, there was a bit of controversy with my old team, with the coaches. They were going at each other every now and then, and because I had begun the reffing, I decided to. At first, I was just going to take a year gap from the playing and just try out just reffing.
Hmm.
But after that, I've decided to just stick with it because I found I'm better at it, and also I feel it's just better for like my fitness and whatnot.
Oh, okay, okay. Caleb, what are some of the things that you've done in Bermuda that's helped shape you over this last 3-year period to help you just make that list again?
Yeah, so my time in Bermuda was very helpful. I am appreciative of the effort made by Mr. Williams to invite us time and time and again to get us officiating at the Bermuda Games. It gives us that continuous match practice. It also gives us the exposure to a different setting, not the familiar setting that we used to at CONCACAF or in our home league. But also, when we go there, we often meet with the younger referees and we have little talks and training, and those little experiences help shape our confidence and as well as preparation for any level.
Yeah, I was talking to Rise before we started, and I asked him, "Are you a one-word man, or are you very talkative?" I picked up he's a one-word man, but I really appreciate the fact that he's willing to express himself, because I think a lot of people who realize that the referees or the officials who can express themselves are the ones who kind of move forward in the game itself. You have some guys who don't talk, but the whistle does the talking for them. You have other guys who do talk, and that's their way of getting over with players, kind of thing. Caleb, what type of an official are you? When you blow the whistle, are you just, I'm blowing the whistle, this is it, or are you into tap talking, because you have so many players that challenge every time the whistle's blown for them?
Well, yeah, just to clarify, I am assistant referee at the moment,
Assistant referee, yes, yeah.
so I will not be blowing whistles, but my personality is similar to Reese. I'm very um I'm very one word and don't say more than I need to,
Hmm.
but I try as much as possible to let my action do the talking, let my movements, my training, be reflective. And I'm glad that he mentioned when he trains, he also puts in additional work, which is stuff that even though nobody gives you any reward for it immediately, is something that doesn't go unnoticed in the end.
Mm.
So, all these things come together. So my personality is very similar. Not very talkative, but I have the ability to open my mouth when I need to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. When you look at when you started, obviously you start out with youth games and so forth. Um, do you remember your first senior game?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. What was that like? Because obviously you're comfortable doing, you get comfortable doing the youth games, and now you're going up to the senior league and you're running the line. What was that? What was the night before like? Were you nervous? Were you anticipating things, or what was that like?
If I'm being honest, I didn't sleep much that night. I was up all night. I was up all night stressing about what if I make a bad call? What if I get shouted at? All that stuff. But it
Yeah.
went pretty well. I was tired after the game because I didn't have the fitness at the time, but it was a really good game.
Yeah. Okay. You remember the two teams?
I think it was Dandytown and PHC.
Oh, you got thrown in at the top end your first game. You didn't
Hmm.
do this. You didn't do a first. Oh my great. Well, I'd have been up too. I'd have been up too. It's one of those things. But after the game, obviously you get a chance to speak with the referee, and you guys talk about what was the comments like after the game for you.
They were pretty positive. They were trying to like reinforce that I did have a pretty good game and that I just needed to keep working on the basics and just keep working on the basics and further improve everything, and everything would just fall in line.
Did you take it upon yourself to talk about getting fit, or was that recommended?
After doing the first game, I'm like, I need to get fitter if I'm gonna keep doing this. And doing the games, it definitely helps, but it also need to do some work outside of
Mm,
the games.
sure, sure, sure. And Caleb, at the international level, they harp on fitness, which is a key. And like you said, Reese done things on his own. What are some of the things that you do outside of the regular training to ensure that you're in the best shape you can be when you get these calls to go to either Nations League, CONCACAF matches, club matches, or whatever? What are you doing to ensure that you're prepared 100% whenever that call is made?
It's similar to rest. There's the set training sessions that is assigned based on the instructors and your mentors, but there's also additional work you could always put in. Exercises free, you don't have to wait on anyone to give you the motivation. So
Hmm.
there's always a little extra work, extra running, extracurricular activities maybe. But one important skill, and I like that I'm seeing it here, is that the main skill I think is the ability to criticize yourself and recognize even though you had a good game, even though it's okay, and you think you had a good game, it's important to analyze and realize where you can improve. And I always say the harshest critic should be yourself. So even though you have assessors and mentors and coaches, the best assessor of yourself, of your performance, will be yourself.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, Caleb, because it's important. Obviously, when you got your first call up back in 22, you would have had expectations of what that a World Cup was like from the outside looking in. Did it meet your expectations? Did it overwhelm you? What was that like once you arrived in Qatar?
It surpassed my expectation. It was overwhelming. The whole experience, meeting some of the biggest referees, the best in the world, and also knowing the entire world is watching, it puts a lot of pressure on you. And I was able to shake it off eventually, but the weight of it was immense. So it felt, like your first game, as Reese probably experienced. It felt, you feel a lot of nerves, a lot of butterflies, and the only thing that could push it through is to do your best and hope for the second call up.
Yeah, yeah. Now, this time around, obviously, you had that experience. It's you know how to better prepare yourself, but it's still the big occasion. It's still the biggest event in football every 4 years. Are you one that kind of gets nervous before a game, or are you just let me just go and do my job?
I do, but what I do, I recognize the immense nature of it, how big it is. There's preparation I do mentally. One of the
Hmm.
things I do before the game is some breathing exercises, as well as listening to music helps calm me down.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So, Rise, let me ask you, what was the ride like from home to the stadium on game day last week?
I was just thinking about the whole time, just trying to get myself into the mindset of it's just another game, just treat it like any other game. Because if I thought about it, that it was the biggest Bermudian game on island, if I kept thinking that, I would just get nervous. So I was just
Mm,
trying to think of it like any other game.
yeah, when you go out to warm up, obviously you hear the crowd and everything. What was the emotion like there?
I just felt excited. I just wanted to get out on the field and just do it.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And obviously, once the game started, it was focused on the game itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Caleb, your first warm up back in 2022, coming out on the field to get ready for the match, warming up with the other officials. What was that like? Because the crowd is building, if not built, in anticipation of whatever game you have.
Yeah, the sensation is surreal. You get all your senses being overwhelmed. This as you step into the stadium, you hear the roar of the crowd. The stadium is packed to capacity. It's a brand new big stadium they built up in Qatar,
Yes, yes.
and you see the fans from all over the world, not just the two teams, but
Hmm.
you see the Qatari, you see the Mexicans in the corner. I remember distinctly seeing a Trinidad and Tobago flag during the game, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" But thanks for the support. Thanks so much. It felt, it felt so surreal seeing the sights of all the fans, the craziness, the jubilation, the all the it's a lot to take in, and I don't think I've experienced anything in my life like that moment. Stepping
Right.
into the field and being there, taking in the moment.
Yeah. The fact that now there's opportunities for our region's referees and referee assistants to be recognized. I think that's the biggest thing because, growing up, we often saw a team of referees or officials from Mexico, Panama, those type of places. But now we're seeing more and more of our region people being involved in this. What would you how would you look at that as another step that CONCACAF is doing a lot more to see that our 41 nations are getting recognized in not just playing but also officiating.
Yeah, that is the mission to get our Caribbean referees out there exposed and brought up to a level where they can be chosen. And kudos to Ocean Nation being the first center referee in such
Hmm.
a long time to be selected. Last Qatar World Cup, we had three assistant referees,
Hmm.
and now we have two referees, one assistant, one referee from the Caribbean. So we want to continue the trend, and the aim, I believe, from the region is to push a full trio, not just myself and Nation, but like we have a full team or more, maybe two teams, why not?
Hmm.
Of Caribbean officials where we can show that we deserve to be at the world stage and we have what it takes to be there.
Mm. I know one of the things is the Nations Cup, which gets us a lot of look-ins um, from FIFA and so forth, because that's considered all regions World Cup. Just having this Nations Cup has improved the amount of officials from the Caribbean that have been allowed to officiate these things, and improve because they're getting the information and everything that's provided to them. One of the things, I don't know, Rise, I don't know if you know this, but when these guys go to these tournaments, they're put through drills, high level drills in preparation of the events. I remember watching once before the Nations Cup, and I watched the referees and the referee assistants 2 days or a day before the game go through like a 60-minute drill that I was like, well, how are they gonna do the game tomorrow? How did you settle into something like that? The first time you had to go through that, Caleb?
Yeah, I remember the very first when they started this new Nation League tournament. They had it was actually during the pandemic as well.
Yes.
So they would have invited a bunch of us over to a bubble where we would come together and we would go training, you know, days before the game, before the
Hmm.
tournament kicks off,
Hmm.
and it will be ongoing. We will have it's almost like a Gold Cup, but on a very smaller scale where
Right.
just the it was the Nation League final, so it's just the top four teams, but it's still the intensity and the demand for it is intense. And I know CONCACAF with the Nations League tournament and the new structures they're having is increasing the number and the level of football in the region, the number of games. So now they have Nation Leagues, League A, League B, League C.
Hmm.
So now is a very good time to be a referee because we have a lot of games where, at the top level and we need young referees to step up. So now is a very good time. Now is a very good opportunity, I will imagine, to be a referee.
Sure. Rise. Obviously, you set yourself some goals. Um, are you willing to share what you want to try and accomplish over the next, say, 3 years with officiating?
In the next 3 years, I'd like to go referee in middle for at least a first division game in Bermuda,
Hmm.
and go go away and travel to tournaments, because at 16, I think it is, you can go travel for other like youth tournaments inside of CONCACAF. So I'd like to go to some of those.
So you set yourself some goals. Obviously, the one thing you talked about, and I'm pretty sure Caleb will agree, is if you decide to go in the middle, the fitness level has to be a lot higher than it is as an assistant referee. I mean, it's equal, but what distance the man in the middle covers is a lot greater than a lot of people understand. But you seem like you're the one that's willing to put in that work if that's what your goal is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. At least you've set yourself some goals. I don't know if Mr. Williams is listening, but he'll watch this after. So you're putting a charge down to him, and he'll be putting a charge down to you. That in 3 years' time, it's up to you to get yourself in that position, and he'll work, and he will work for you.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
definitely will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Caleb, give us a sense of that first meeting of Cranston Williams for you.
He's a guy that, I think we need more of in the Caribbean. The development I've seen with him in Bermuda, refereeing has grown so much, and I like that he brings in the youth. So I like that, Reese has this opportunity, as well as the other young referees who are coming up. I like that growth and continuity. I like his vision, his persistence in getting the work that is needed and getting whatever resources and whatever is needed. And I hope that we have more like him, not just in Bermuda, but the entire region of the
Yeah,
Caribbean.
yeah. One of the things, obviously, to officiate at FIFA level is age, and we know you have some years to get there, Reese. And you know, it's encouraging that you kind of enjoy the officiating side, because a lot of people get into it initially for payment and then start to really enjoy it. Um, I want to encourage you to stick with it. I know you'll probably go abroad to school, but there's opportunities in school to officiate. How would a school love to have a student officiating games? That's a plus for the school, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you got to keep that in mind as well. I'm applying to you, but I want to be able to officiate. So those are the type of things that we need to keep encouraging. So Caleb, when does everything go down? When do you head to the camp, and does CONCACAF have something for you guys before heading over? Do you have a training camp in Trinidad before you go over?
So from now until the World Cup, there's a training program that we will be following. They'll be monitoring us over using technology, I guess,
Hmm.
heart rate monitoring, fitness checking, and as well as communication over the internet.
Right.
Um, and things have started already. We are in the process of fine tuning.
Hmm.
Um, and I think the road has begun. Well, it's continuing. So I believe that, with the stuff in play, if maybe there's one more or two more international games. I don't know if
Yeah.
they will appoint us in between that time. So those things will, if it comes, we will look at this as preparation for the big kickoff in June. We will depart for Miami like 10 days before the kickoff of the tournament. So
Hmm.
in those 10 days, we have more training, more technical, more physical, and I guess it'll be more putting the finishing touches so that we have an excellent tournament.
Yeah. The new rules, the 8 seconds, the throw-ins, the substitution, all those added times, are they going to be injected in this World Cup?
Most definitely.
You know?
The World Cup usually is the kickoff for a lot of the new rules, not just the ones that the 8 seconds, but now they're going to have even more time wasting rules for like you delay the throw-in and
Yes.
also new VAR checks
Hmm.
for mistaken corner, etc.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot of new things in this World Cup, new
Hmm.
technology, new rules, and it usually sets the standards for the next 3 to 4 years.
Right. One of the things we noticed in the last World Cup, games averaged like 110 minutes, with what they had put in place. And I think because it was the World Cup and it was so fresh, the game seemed to extend over a longer period of time. Do you see that coming down this time, or do you see that kind of being the same?
So that the directive is to play as much of the actual time. So the reason why games were longer is we were making up for every lost time.
Mm,
Some of the new law changes and the rule changes are meant to address the delaying of time. So if time is not delayed as much, maybe it will come down, maybe it won't be as extended, but
Right.
the idea is to get a full 90 minutes of playing time, and
Mhm.
we try to salvage as much of that time as possible.
Right. One question, because this has been a conversation. So if the substitution, if the person doesn't get off the field in enough time, the other player has to wait approximately a minute before coming on. Does the ball have to go out of play before that person comes on?
Um, the it is 1 minute from the stoppage,
Uh,
and they will have to come. They will have to wait it. The whole idea with this is really to um change the attitude of the players. And when you're subbing them, they like to take the time. So hopefully
mhm.
we don't see any of it. The idea is just to discourage people from doing
Yes,
it.
yes, because
If they
we
do
see
it, if they do it, then they
they
get
hurt the
penalized.
team. They hurt the team. Yes,
And
yes.
they have to wait that full minute, as well
Minute.
as for you see for injuries. Anytime you come off for injury, you cannot
Hmm.
fake an injury. So if you fake an injury, then you have to come off. So we hoping that we see less injuries being faked from the
Hmm.
time you get a knock and you're able to run, you'll get back up and run. Because if the medic comes and treat you, you have to go for a full minute of playing time. And
Okay.
you could come on after the minute, but not before.
Not before. Okay. 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 Well. All right. So you hear all these new rules and so forth. Have you guys been introduced to them yet, or will they? They're going to come into effect in the new season. Have you guys been introduced to them yet?
Oh, we've been introduced to a couple of them, like the I think we've been introduced to the injury time. You have to. I'm not sure how long it is, but I think it has been extended.
Hmm.
And the 8-second rule with the keepers holding the ball, that's also been introduced.
Right. 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 What's your? Cause well, you're young at it. What's your thoughts on time wasting?
I think I think it's just only wasting their own time because a lot of it, if especially if it's like an injury or something, it's going to get added on anyways. So you're playing the same amount of time anyways. So it's pretty
Hmm.
pointless.
Right. Yeah. Um, Well, I want to thank you both, Caleb and Rise. Mr. Williams said, "Good job." He's actually in a meeting, trying to do two things at one time, listening in, and I was hoping he was going to be able to join us, but he's unable to. So, good luck, Caleb. We'll be watching, and we hope you all the best. Wish you all the best for this World Cup, and knowing that someone that we know personally who has been in Bermuda, who has assisted our young referees and our young referee assistants and so forth. And we look forward to seeing you back here again after the World Cup. To congratulate you on the performance and so forth. And you get an opportunity to speak with Rise in person. That I'm pretty sure he'll be willing to or looking forward to the conversations of what to expect at that level, because I think as an official, everybody wants to go to the highest place of the sport, and nothing's bigger than the World Cup in football for football,
Yeah,
Definitely.
right?
definitely.
So, all right. So, gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your afternoon and evening, and Rise, enjoy the summer. Stay working hard and be ready for September.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Caleb, we'll talk to you after the World Cup.
Sure, we will.
Enjoy your night.
Thanks, you too.
Okay.